I know, open mic might be awkward for me though, but I think
It'll
the
be
kids
fine.
are asleep.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to possibly the most anticipated game of the evening, potentially, because Danny D's in it. But captains for this UK Dota Inhouse League are Lewis as well as Solaris, and I am joined by Farah. How you doing, man?
I'm good, sorry, I was just setting up my open mic on Mumble as well, so I don't have to like press control every time. But yeah, I'm good, yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, man. I'm looking forward to this game though. But consisting of the Radiant side, we do have Lewis, Poddy, Matt, Disraeli, as well as Sprink, who is bottom of the table and just lost another game. And on the Dire side, we see Solaris, who's the captain, as well as Betty KS, Danny D, Savage, and Chemistry. What do you think of these teams for a start, Farah?
I know most of the people in this game. I know Lewis, Poddy, Disraeli, Sprink, Betchu, and Danny D, but I haven't played with any of the other players, mainly Solaris, Chemistry, Savage, and Matt, and I'm not entirely sure of their skill levels, but just looking at the teams in general, it seems fairly balanced, so I can't really call who's going to win or not, but we'll see.
I know I'm getting flamed so hard in my stream chat right now, but actually interesting bands coming out. So we do see the Shadow Demon band out. What do you think of this one? Because that's not usual. I mean, Shadow Demon's picked up so often in the Inhouse League, but people haven't been doing anything about it.
The thing is, Shadow Demon is like first pick material these days because people value the utility of being able to set up a stun. His skills are way too powerful. I mean, Soul Catcher amplifies damage, Shadow Poison does a decent amount of damage early game, and Scouts on a 5 second or less cooldown. I don't remember the exact numbers behind it.
I think it's 2.5 roughly, or something
yeah,
like that.
That sounds right. It's around, yeah, it's less than 3 seconds, definitely. And the Demonic Purge, which slows, purges debuffs, no, not debuffs, purges buffs, and does damage. I mean, the hero's way too powerful. I'm not sure whether you should value it over something like a Magnus, but it really depends on the player and what they like. Like, you really shouldn't be drafting against what you think is OP, because we only have 2 bans available, so there are a lot of OP heroes that can screw you with one spell in the game anyway. You should more draft towards what the player likes, but it's hard to do that against randoms, and I'm thinking that Solaris may just not like the Shadow Demon very much and not want to play against it, which is entirely understandable.
Yeah, very popular pick at the moment, but we see it coming out from the Radiant side, also known as Ethnic Gentleman Safari as usual. Magnus, Rubik, and Lena, so very powerful support as well as their mid lane that I have here. And I've still got the music playing, what the hell? I just noticed. And as far as the Dire team goes, I have Darkseer, Jakiro, and Lifesteal, so pretty even drafts. It's a little bit surprising we do see Jakiro this early though. Maybe it's just try and stop the Magnus, stay out of the fight, and stun him before Reverse Polarity goes off.
It's awkward because Jakiro is a really, really defensive hero, and Lifestealer is one where you kind of want to go aggressive, especially against some things that are still in the pool. I mean, you could still pick up something like a Luna, a Gyrocopter. I mean, all of these strong ranged carries are still in the pool, which also have the quality of being extremely squishy early game. I mean, Lifestealer crushes those in an aggressive tri-lane because of the fact that he has magic immunity and most of their damage is magical, namely Lunar and Gyrocopter, Lucent Beam, and Rocket Barrage. I mean, he just completely stomps all over them. But Jakiro is mainly a really defensive hero because of the fact that his Ice Path is so long-ranged, so it's kind of awkward, but it can work aggressively because Jakiro, when he hits level 2, he has the AoE slow from Dual Breath and the stun. The Dual Breath slow will stack with Open Wounds as well, which is really good because Open Wounds, the slow reduces over time, and the Dual Breath can kind of counteract that. So I see the logic behind it, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, it's not what I would pick.
At the same time, they can actually use the Open Wounds to initiate, which would pretty much guarantee an Ice Path to hit as well. I mean, it's a 70% slow at all levels, so that should guarantee a slow coming out there. The bans are pretty interesting as well coming out from the Radiant side. We're going to see Invoker, Anti-Mage as well as Queen of Pain, so getting rid of some mid-heroes, getting rid of one of those hard carries as well, and it's just a carry ban fest coming out from the Dire. But we are actually going to see another Kunkka for the second game in a row coming out from the Radiant. I'm pretty sure that might be Poddy playing that one. But again, I don't know Matt and Disraeli's skill levels myself, so very uncertain. But what do you think about this Kunkka pick? It's very early, in my opinion.
I'm thinking it's going to be a Rubik Lena Kunkka aggressive tri-lane because they see the Jakiro pick and think, oh, it's going to be defensive. And that works really, really well. I remember in one in-house with Bustin and I can't remember who else, we played Shadow Demon Lena Kunkka. Actually, no, we played this tri lane and we were against Shadow Demon, and it stomped really, really hard because we were able to set up the stun with Rubik to the torrent and Lena stun to follow up. It just really, really was good, I'd say. But I can understand the logic behind it. I mean, Kunkka is a strong hero. He has the Tidebringer, which does an amount of harass from insane range. It's like 1,000 in a cone around him. He has the Torrent, which is an extremely strong spell when set up. So I'd assume that they have the coordination to set that up as well. So, I don't know. I feel it's a decent pickup, and I can understand the logic behind it.
Yeah,
anyway.
Interesting enough, we are going to see Chemistry playing Brewmaster, and this is a little bit unusual in my opinion. We're going to see one of the guys that we've never actually seen before in the Inhouse League actually playing the mid lane hero, which is quite an important role, as well as the one that requires quite a bit of micro. So, I'm going to be interested to see how this one plays there, but we're going to quickly run over the Radiant side right now. So, Sprinky D, for my shining star. A little bit of shout out to Danny there. So, Spring going to be playing up on that offlane Windrunner. We're going to be seeing Lewin play as the mid. Lewis playing as the mid lane Magnus. Poddy's going to be playing on a Kunkka as expected. Actually not going mid lane, so he's going to be running the tri lane along with Disready, who's going to be playing on that Rubik, as same as last game, and Matt, who's going to be playing on the Lina. Do you want to go over the Dire side real quick?
Yeah, sure. We've got Danny D on his patented support Earthshaker. We've got Solaris on the Darkseer, presumably going offlane, but Danny D seems to be going into the enemy jungle. Is this first blood again?
No, Danny, stop going into enemy jungles.
He's blocking the pull camp and they're letting him? That's awkward. Anyway, I don't think the first blood is going to happen, so we've got Chemistry on the mid lane Brewmaster, and the dual lane top, it seems Savage on the Chikiro and Betchu KS on the Lifestealer.
Yeah, interesting enough that we actually see Betty Chaos on the Lifestealer rather than on the Darkseer, and at the same time it's surprising we don't see Danny D on the Darkseer. With both of those guys are very actually known for playing their Darkseers pretty well, so it's pretty interesting. And actually, I'm not sure why Danny's still bottom, and also why he warded the pull camp, because Solaris has wards on him on the Darkseer.
This is awkward. Also, I wouldn't say Danny D's Darkseer is the best I've seen, but
it's well known. But
he's ancient pulling. He's ancient pulling. This is what he's gonna do. It's gonna be pretty ridiculous if he's able to pull it off, which I'm doubting because he didn't get the first pull off, but I think he's ancient pulling.
Yeah.
Basically, you fissure.
Oh, aggression on Solaris on the bottom lane, but actually missing every single spell. We do see the Disraeli lifting him up here, but Matt misses Light Strike Array. We also see the Torrent coming in from Poddy missing, so a bit of a dirt moment coming off here. But yep, Danny D using his fissure will actually be able to fully pull this creep wave and be able to very easily kill it off. And that's going to deny a lot of golden XP coming in from Poddy, and they're going to be wondering what's going on here. Meanwhile, Danny gets to farm Ancients.
It's a decent way of farming an Earthshaker. It's more for the utility of denying, and if you run something like a Lone Druid with this, who's free farming under his tower, it's really, really good, but it's easy to shut down, and once Poddy, he's an experienced player, he'll know what the fuck's going on, and you can see what he's drawing on the map right now.
He's already drew the Feather Danny's own. Danny doesn't actually have any regen. Having a Black Dragon camp there has really crippled him. He's down to 266 HP, and if Disraeli as well as Matt can get this combo off, they could kill him, and Danny's still sitting there. He's got a ward, he knows rotation is coming, he's finally going to back off. But anyway, we haven't really looked at the other lanes yet. Chemistry's fully out of mana in the mid lane. He does have his bottle on the way, of course, though, and Lewis, he has taken quite a bit of harass from Chemistry, it seems. We're also going to be going for the bottle rush. Doesn't quite have it yet. He's 100 gold away. Or is he? There's Courier right now. Oh, he's going out towards bottom lane. We're bringing out some wards, so they're going to actually block the Ancients by looks of things. And meanwhile, Matt's just sitting here keeping an eye on things. And this is the problem with Danny D now. Obviously, Poddy, as you mentioned, would have called it out, and now he just can't do it. He's low on health, and he just can't go near the Ancients anymore.
The thing is, he's forcing the supports to rotate towards the Ancients, and it's not really a place that they can pick up kills because they have the high ground advantage. They'll see the supports coming.
Chemistry's here though. Matt has a DD rune available, but there's three heroes here. This is going to be first blood given out here. Matt with the DD rune will actually down the Light Strike around top of Chemistry. But now Danny D is going to get right click pretty hard, but that will be first blood going to Danny D. Disraeli will be able to get the collateral kill here, but it looks like both of the supports are going to be picked off. In fact, so they're not going to chase on Disraeli here. Chemistry is a little bit slower by the looks of things. 290 EMS now actually a little bit faster, but not able to keep up. So we do see a 1-for-1 exchange. We see Lena die first. Danny D getting the first blood on the Earthshake, and he will die to Disraeli to follow up.
Yeah, that was really, really good of them. Maybe Matt could have denied himself to Roshan. Maybe he just got caught out of position because he didn't have the high ground vision of Brewmaster coming, Rubik wasn't sitting on the high ground around here. Can you see my pings?
Yeah.
Okay, he wasn't. Rubik was sitting here rather than here, and he wasn't able to see the Brewmaster coming, and he just got caught out by surprise, which is a mistake that sometimes happens when you tunnel vision as a support. But that was an extremely good exchange for Danny D there on the Earthshaker. He caught out. Oh wait, bot lane.
Yep, Solaris, so he's going to be able to run himself away. That was once again Torrent as well as Live Striker Ray missing. And you mentioned Danny D pulling the supports away earlier. This Ray obviously got that kill on Danny to be able to get himself level 2. But if you see Matt's XP currently, he's sitting on 53 experience points on the Lina in the tri lane.
He's keeping them at the same level as he is, which is really, really good for him because he's trading 2 supports levels for 1, and Darkseer is still getting a decent amount of levels from the lane. However, Sproink is getting a lot of levels from top because of the fact that it's a dual lane. Jakiro can't really shut down the Windrunner unless he kind of aggressively harassed, which he's failed to do. So, I mean, I think Jakiro could have kept him level 1, but of course he hasn't done that. So, it's kind of put the Dire in an awkward situation where Danny's kept the supports at level 1 by doing this pressuring and ancient pulling, but the offlane is still suffering because of the fact that the tri-lane is so strong.
Oh, Danny actually failed in the pull here. The Frida creep's just getting stuck in the fissure, it seems. We'll be able to get 1 melee creep pulled right now. He's going to lose his clarity, but yep, only been able to deny the 1 creep. And obviously the camp is ward currently, although there's a sentry ward. I don't know how they haven't dewarded this yet. Does that not give vision enough? I mean, I assume the sports went up there. I mean, Danny's up there at the moment, and he's going to die to the dragon. He's going to die to the dragon.
Yeah, he can't. He tried to deward it, and he's going to die to the dragon now because the dragon, obviously, he's going to aggro it on the way to the ward. And they're both melee, so they can't get to the ward. I mean, that's put them in a really, really awkward situation. Now, they have vision of whether Danny's low HP or not. I mean, that's actually really good of them, and is one of the reasons why you kind of do it with a ranged offlaner that can actually deward stuff, because now they're in a really, really bad position at the moment.
And I'm actually a little bit surprised on how this top lane is going. I assume that Sprunk would be doing a much better job right now, but he's currently only 10 for 4, and BetaKS is actually top farm on the map right now. He's sitting on 31 for 5, doing a really good job farming as this lifestealer. Meanwhile, Sprunk is actually going to use his power shot just to scare out where Savage is sitting, who is currently sitting at the side, just keeping an eye on things. In mid lane, we do see more aggression flying out, so Magnus is up to level 6 now, does have the reverse polarity available. Brewmaster a little bit behind on XP right now, 200 behind. Actually choosing to go for the Thunderclap as well, stats build. He has himself an inventory and bottled, so we could see Brewmaster get himself level 6 soon and maybe go for a gank. And meanwhile, Solaris still, I don't actually think they see with this ward. I don't think they can see it because it's full health right now. And Danny would have probably killed it off when they were putting that last creep wave there.
I think they did see it. I don't think they're blind. You know, no matter how much we troll Danny D, I don't think he's blind. He would have seen it when coming to pull. But again, I explained before, like, they're both melee, and that's a big black dragon. Like, they're gonna die if they walk up to the ward and try to kill it. I mean, there's no way they can deward it unless they get a ranged hero like Jakiro down there.
But there we go, BKS has his Midas complete now, uses it instantly. So we're going to see the Lifestealer start to rocket out of control a bit. We do see Danny D up here as well. He's currently only level 2, but they might actually go for a dive on Sprunk here. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Vision's going to go off. Has that blocked him up? That's actually blocked him into the trees here. He's going to try and sit himself into the trees with the wind run. He uses power shots to escape, but a very nice shackle. Savage should go down to the tower here. He will do so, so Sprunk manages to get himself a kill in a 1v3 situation and surviving. Fantastic shackle coming out from Sprunk. Enables him to pick up the kill on Savage and potentially just won himself this lane completely and utterly.
I mean, Savage completely failed there. I mean, there was no creep wave, and he tried to find, he walked under the tower to find an ice path angle, and when it has insane range, I mean, he could have easily
split mid lane. Brewmaster's actually used his split. Louis going to skewer the wind one back in. Obviously the stun's going to come coming out from the Earth Panda, and he should be able to get the kill here. The Fire Panda is actually going to get blocked a little bit though, and they're trying to find Louis. Louis jukes himself into the trees, manages to bot himself up as well. Chemistry not actually doing the best job at the micro here with the Brewmaster, and there goes the reverse polarity. Louis, he doesn't have skewer available though, and I don't think Shockwave is going to be enough damage to kill him off. And no, it's not going to do so. And Louis out of mana, so both heroes in mid lane actually completely wasting their ults essentially, not being able to do anything with either of them. But at the same time, it was a nice juke from Lewis going into the trees, but I think the chemistry should have expected that.
I mean, it's really hard for a Brewmaster to kill a Magnus unless he whittles him down a little bit. He did get the clap off as far as I recall, and instead of then split, but he didn't get enough stuns with the Earth Panda in order to lock Magnus down enough to kill him. I think after he skewered the Wind Panda into him, the Wind Panda could have just tornadoed him and then dispelled the tornado once the Earth Panda and the Fire Panda got into position. But maybe he didn't think of that at the time. I'm not saying my micro is good enough to do that either, but like, I mean, I think he could have played that a bit more optimally. But as I was saying before with the Jakiro and how Sproink outplayed him, I mean, it was a very bad play from Jakiro from the start, but just Sproink to just capitalize on that, the fact that Jakiro was just tanking the tower for way too long when he has an insanely long-range stun, was really a good presence of mind from Sproink there, so
yeah, and it was a
kudos to
beautiful
him.
shackle angle as well that he managed to get off. Meanwhile, we actually seen the bottom lane at Poddy. Very interesting that he's actually decided to go for a Midas here on the Kunkka. I'm a little bit surprised. I know that Midas seems to be the most popular item in UK dollar at the moment, but to build one on a Kunkka rather than getting some early game aggression coming out from something like an early Shadows Blade, it's just a little surprising for me.
I mean, when you see that the enemy's got a Midas, there's only two decisions you can make. You can either decide to punish that Midas by early aggression and just ganking the shit out of their heroes, or you can get a Midas yourself and hope to just keep on a par of farm with him, because when you're farming as a carry, you have to assume that the other carry has gotten every single CS, and that
Smoke ganking bottom now. They're going to go after Danny D. They will find him instantly. Danny's trying to run himself away. Lewis with a skewer. Danny's only level 2 right now with Shockwave. Is all he needs to kill him off. Just has to make sure he doesn't fluff this one up. He's got to send it now. Lewis will actually miss the skewer. Disraeli will be able to get the fade ball to get the final kill though. Solaris going to throw the vacuum onto 3 heroes there. But he should also go down. Lewis currently botting himself up. Has another Shockwave available. He's got to cast it now. Last right click from Lena will do the job though. Matt getting himself a double kill. Successful smoke gang coming out from the Radiant side here. Unfortunately, Lewis did miss the first Shockwave, but at the end it didn't matter. Disraeli able to get himself some extra gold there, and they're going to reward the Ancient, so making sure that Poddy can get as much farm as possible in his bottom lane while Danny keeps attempting to be a nuisance. Instead he's just going to head himself back up into the top lane.
Yeah, that was a good rotation. I mean,
Lewis RP mid lane, he's going to go on chemistry. Skewer's available, lines up the angle perfectly to bring him into the tower. But there's another split available, and Disraeli is actually here for support for Lewis, but Lewis should be going down here. Matt's going to throw out the Light Striker array on top of the Pandas. He just wants to keep Lewis alive right now. Wind Panda has gone down, the Fire one's going to follow as well. And once again, the split just doing nothing here, and now he's finding himself in a lot of trouble. He's going to try and run himself away, use his mana boots. Just have a blink to get it, yeah. Has a regen rune. Disraeli is available. He does have a lift. Mana just got up there. Stops the lift. Lewis actually missing another shockwave there, but there comes all the burst. Lewis actually taken very low by the clap as well as the fissure, and he's running away now with that regen rune going. And Lewis, he's going to throw a shockwave. Thinks it's enough damage. The regen rune will be able to keep him alive. Danny, meanwhile, going to yoink the rune from the retreating Brewmaster. Why?
Danny daughter.
Why are you stealing the rune? But the great escape coming in from chemistry, and actually a really nice feature from Danny. Manages to slow down Lewis enough to be able to allow chemistry to pop that regen rune and get away.
I mean, again, it's just like he's not using the Storm Panda at all. Like, he could have, as soon as he saw the supports, he should have just stopped going on Magnus maybe, and just like either tornadoed one of them if he wanted to commit to killing the Magnus, or maybe gone on the supports, because it's a lot easier to kill 2 supports that are like level 4 than a level 8 Magnus, because I mean Rubik's HP gain and Linus HP gain aren't the best in the world. I mean, 1 stun plus oh, I didn't see that at all.
No,
I think he must have landed the torrent and dived the Earthshaker.
Yeah,
I apologize.
In fact, his boat actually went over the top of him. I saw the HP removal going on there at the end of the fight, so finishes the fight on 2 HP, so he would have actually died to the terror, it seems, if he didn't have that boat aura going on top of him. But yeah, Poddy able to get a solo kill on Danny D, and Danny's having such a bad game right now. Although he's been an absolute nuisance, he's level 3 up on the Surfshaker. Top lane. We're going to see some aggression going on in the Lifestealer. Lewis actually going to be finding himself in a lot of trouble. Why was Lewis in that position? Oh, but Sprink actually body blocks Lewis with a nice shackle. Gets off the angle, and Lewis comes back in for the RP. We're going to see the the fade bolt as well as the shockwave.
That was beautiful.
The combo coming out from Lewis. Very well played by Sprink. Why are you bottom of the league, sir? And Lewis as well, manning the fuck up. He was sitting on only 50 HP and he manages to get himself into the RP position. So a beautiful play coming out from the Radiant there, completely turning it around the fight. But why was Lewis caught on his own in the woods?
It was a huge misplay. He was looking to gank top. I think he had a rune, I'm not entirely sure. But he walked up in this high ground. How do I go again? Yeah, there we go. If you can see top, he walked up the high ground here. And Jakiro was like here, and the Dire Ward spotted him here coming in, so they were prepared. Jakiro ice pathed BetUKS was here, he walked in with the open wounds, Magnus skewered him this way, and they didn't expect the rotation because they don't have a lane ward here, so they didn't expect the supports to rotate, and they didn't kill off Magnus quick enough in order to seal the deal and get out, and Sproink just outplayed them with the beautiful shackle angle, and then the RP came off cooldown.
Look at this Iron Shell in middle. That's so weird.
Yeah, Iron Shell has a weird interaction with large units.
Yeah, Jakiro especially. It's absolutely massive on Jakiro.
But yeah, that was a misplay from Lewis, turning into a huge play from Sproink. I mean, it was really awkward to watch, but it turned out for the best of them right now. Though it's weird to see that BetUKS isn't more ahead on CS.
Lewis in a lot of trouble here in the mid lane, but Large Strike Array will land from on top of Matt. And there comes another split coming in. Gaddy actually makes something happen with this one. Rock going to be thrown on top of Disraeli. Actually going to lift him up with a panda. What are you doing? That's the guy you're going on. Oh, I'm not sure what's happening with this Brewmaster micro. Now Disraeli's going to find himself in a better position. Another rock to go. Nice vision going to come out from Danny D. Wasn't sure that Disraeli's dead as well. As a nice ice path from Savage as well. But Savage actually missing on the dual breath there. Chemistry. Oh, nearly get clipped by that shockwave. They're looking for him, but unfortunately Matt's currently out of mana. Lewis might actually skew himself through the trees and attempt something here. Does have the mana for both RP as well as Skewer now, so we could look for something, but choosing not to do so.
I mean, I don't think the Brewmaster knows that you can dispel Tornado using your Purge spell, because Tornado is a debuff, but I don't know. Because you could have easily just... The lift there puts him out of position, which is really, really good, and then you Purge the Tornado once they're out of position, and once you know they're backing off and that they're leaving their support to die, and just kill him as quickly as possible, because you want to get as much damage as possible and as much utility as possible out of your Brewmaster ult. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't know that he could dispel the tornado, or maybe he did. I don't know. That tornado seemed a bit short. So I'm not sure what exactly he was thinking.
I think it's 6 seconds on Heroes, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, it's 6 seconds, but I didn't count the amount of seconds. I was kind of watching Poddy whiff a boat on Doxia bot while the split happened.
Oh right, did anything? Oh, Poddy died?
Oh, I didn't see him die. I'm assuming that Doxia outplayed him, because when they were splitting mid, Poddy went on the Doxia, but I didn't watch what happened in the aftermath.
Mid lane, Lewis is going to skewer Savage back now, and the Shackle not going to latch on Sprint this time, but the Shockwave will be enough damage to come out from Lewis to guarantee the kill. And Danny D's also pretty low here, has to be a little bit careful, but 4 heroes rotate mid lane, this should be the definite tier 1 terror as well.
I'm kind of going to blame the supports for this one. I mean, they really need a ward like up here or something, because they know that there is a Magnus, and they know he has Skewer, but he doesn't have a blink yet. So what he's going to do, obviously, he's going to walk around this area and then try and run into your face and skewer them back into the tower, because your supports are all there, and pick you off really, really easily, because that's what Skewer's really, really good for. It's for manipulating the position and forcing an enemy hero to be out of position. That's why Blink Skewer, you saw it so much at DreamHack Winter, and you see it so much now. Like, it just is so good at... It's like a mini lasso, as such, when you have a blink, and now you have the blink on Mac. That's
actually really interesting. Both mid heroes buying their blink daggers at exactly the same time in this game. So Lewis on the sorry, I forgot his name for a second. And Lewis on the Magnus as well as Chemistry on the Brewmaster. Both have their blinks available. And as we saw that fight up in the mid lane now, BetUKS is currently still farming. Maelstrom complete on him. Also managed to get the last hit on the tier 1 terror in top lane. He's up to level 12. So BetUKS getting a little bit scared on his life here. And the Radiant up doing absolutely nothing about it but leaving Poddy to farm. And as it stands, Poddy is just nowhere near the level of farm right now that BetUKS has got.
He's a bit closer than I expected him to be, because I was going to say before the fight happened mid. Poddy was denied 2 full creep waves in the early game. That is massive, especially when you're going for a Midas. Like, he was denied 2...
Oh, top lane. Savage can land the ice path on top of Matt. There's a nice shot coming out from Sproink, but at the same time, Matt will go down to BetUKS here with just doing so much damage using the open wounds there. And Sproink is going to have to try and run himself away. Macropire actually going to be completely fluffed here by Savage. And they're still chasing on BetUKS. There's another open wounds available. And this will be a death for Sproink. Vacuum into security just by Solaris there. And there goes the rage from BetUKS to try and finish him off. One more right click is all he needs. Sproink, though, doesn't have the mana for another wind run. And Savage is going to walk in just to attempt the body box. I bet you guys can get lasted. Level 13 now up on his snakes. Midas available, and 1700 gold now up on him. This lifesteal is starting to get a little bit out of control. We could see a Basher coming out very soon for him, or maybe even an Armlet. Or an Assault Cuirass or a Mionia. It's so open right now for BetUKS.
I think that Maelstrom is casual.
Oh, actually split in the mid lane. Lewis is under his own terror right now. And it looks like another split's been wasted by this Brewmaster. But I will be throwing the Lena up there with the oh my god, I'm forgetting words right now.
Beautiful Fisher.
Yeah, very nice Fisher coming out from Danny D. And the clap is actually stolen by Rumi there, and Chemistry's in a lot of trouble now. Been hit by the Light Strike Array. Torrent hit as well. And finally the Fade Ball from Disready will finish him off.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but again, he tornadoed the wrong target. He could have tornadoed Poddy, who was doing the most damage to him with the Empower and the Tidebringer that still works on the Ancient units, but instead he tornadoes the Lina, who can only stun one of them. I mean, he would have probably gotten away once he realized, wait, I'm in a bad position, this isn't a good idea anymore. If he had tornadoed the Kunkka, instead he tornadoes the Lina, who can't do anything to him. And I don't know, I felt that was a misplay from him. Yeah. From being there in the first place and misplaying it anyway.
Mechanism now complete for Sprunk on the win run as well, so a little bit more teamfight control coming out from them. Meanwhile though, Solaris actually not got one yet. He's gone for the Arcane Boots very early, which is a little bit unusual. We generally don't see Darkseers upgrade their boots this early rather than get the Mechanism rush. And even Savage isn't anywhere near one either, so at the moment, the Radiant team, they have that better control of the fight, so to speak, just because of the mechanism as well as the ability to have a reverse polarity there. But BTKS is in such an advantage right now. He's actually going to buy up his Mjolnir recipe, and he's about to minus a creep, and once he does, he's going to have the gold available to finish that Mjolnir off. And this is an 18-minute Mjolnir as well as Power Tres. He is so farmed on his lifesteal. If you have a look at the net worth right now, he's currently sitting on 9,100. However, there is something on the courier.
Top lane,
so it's 9,500.
Top lane, big smoke.
Do see smoke coming in, Blink coming in from Lewis, but nice Fisher coming out from Danny D. Shockwave and a nice Echo Slam coming from Danny D. Magnus not able to get his reverse polarity off. Sprunk will be killed off, and that's 3 for 2 exchange so far. BTKS however again a double kill, 4 for 2 going away to Dire. Smoke gang coming in from the Radiant, but however, it is BTKS as well as his team that turns it around with a massive, and I mean absolutely huge Echo Slam coming out from Danny D there. Completely turning this engagement around. And actually, the best part about that was the fact that he fissured right up here as soon as Lewis blinked himself into this position. Managing to stun him as soon as the reverse polarity was about to go off from Lewis and completely shut down that RP in the fight. Not able to get it off, and BTKS managed to clean up all the kills.
I'm going to say you're wrong here and say that the fissure was huge, but the vacuum wall, well, the wall vacuum, because that's how you do the combo, was even huger because Lewis and 2 of the supports were caught completely out of position by that and weren't able to cast any spells in that fight due to the fact that they just got destroyed in the wall vacuum. The Echo Slam did lock down Kunkka enough to not really do anything. I mean, his boat's on cooldown. He had no mana anyway. I think he casted 1 torrent in that fight, and that was about it, and got 1 Tidebringer proc off.
Lewis in trouble. Danny actually missing the Fisher there, but Chemistry did blink in, and now he's going to use the Drunken Haze on him as well. Vacuum going to suck him back in, and he will get killed by the Kree Waves. The gold is actually split, but a free kill going away of the Dire here. Lewis being caught out of position, and then they're going to try and push this tier 1 tower in bottom lane.
I feel sad for them.
Shadowblade actually complete on Poddy now as well.
I'm not sure I agree with that. He built a Midas. He knows he wants to outcarry this Lifestealer, and it's possible if he's more skilled at farming, which he might think he is, or maybe he thinks he's getting better farm and his supports can create space for better farm. I don't know. I don't like the Shadowblade in this context, especially so early. I mean, Shadowblade does do a lot for Kunkka in the sense it gives more attack speed, gives you a bit of burst, gives you an escape mechanism. But I think something like maybe a Battle Fury or something like that, which it seems like he's going for now, and just to stack up the cleaves, might allow him to outcarry the Lifestealer. But I don't know. I'm not much of a Kunkka player, but it just seems that that might be more optimal. But I don't know. Shadowblade does do a lot for Kunkka.
But is it me, or is every time we look at BTKS, he's just sitting on 2,000 gold? 2,500 up on him now. After completing that Mjolnir, the last fight for him was huge. But in the meantime, we are going to see a push coming out from the bottom lane from the Radiant here. Chemistry clapping the creep wave, but he actually gets caught by a shackle coming out from Sprunk. This will be the death of him as well. And I'm not sure why the boat was cast by Poddy. A little bit overkill. That's a very free kill. Danny missing the Fisher, but now BTKS is coming in. He's level 17 up on his Lifestealer now. And Matt is in a lot of trouble. Mechanism going to go out. Nice reverse polarity coming out from Lewis here. Skewer actually going to come out as well. And they will be able to clean up the fire. Whoa, what a huge Echo Slam coming out from Danny D. And now Lewis is in a lot of trouble as well. And they are able to clean this fight up. All they need to do is one more right click, but the Fisher actually blocking out the Magna Solution. And he's going to be able to blink himself down. Lewis will be able to survive there. Very smart play. Being able to get out there. But Danny actually messing up the Fisher very slightly. Tried to stop Lewis, but unfortunately gets caught on the wrong side of the Fisher himself. And Lewis able to get away. But a nice turnaround on the fight coming from Danny D after they've already lost a Life Stealer as well as a Darkseer in this fight. Danny with a massive Echo Slam does secure 2 kills, but we're seeing top lane actually Shackle Shot landing on Savage, but Windrunner unfortunately on Sprunk unable to cast any more spells as he was out of mana.
That's what a huge Echo Slam looks like. I mean, the Lifestealer was already dead. I mean, the stun also did a lot for getting more damage out from the Windrunner Power Shot into the Darkseer Vacuum. I mean, the Vacuum was extremely good. I mean, that set up the Echo Slam. I mean, Solaris is playing out of his mind on that Darkseer. Also, can you hear my background? Should I turn on my push control?
Slightly, but don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay. But, I mean, that was just good execution and good turnaround. The Lifestealer may have TP'd a bit too early. I mean, it wasn't a good trade for the Dire, but they got what they could out of it. But a little bit of miscoordination, but they managed to get something out of the fight, which is good, better than nothing that they would have gotten if the rotation didn't come down, whether it's late or not at all.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I like that. We
do actually see, interesting enough, something we haven't spoken about is Danny D has picked up a gem very early on this Earthshaker. We do see that, in fact, did he buy the gem? Yeah, he actually bought the gem himself as well, so spending a lot of money on that one. So, but it's a very smart pick as well. Potty obviously getting that Shadow Blade very early in the game, so gem to completely count that one out. They want to try and find him before he throws his aggression down. But I'm a little bit worried for Danny's life carrying his gem right now. He's got 940 hit points, which is fairly good for a support, obviously. But Potty has a lot of bursts coming out. If he manages to get a Shadow Blade Tidebringer hit off, as well as getting that Torrent land, there should be a free gem going the way of the Radiant. What do you think of this early pickup anyway?
Well, the thing that comes to mind instantly is that they have 4 melee heroes, so the only time the gem is going to be useful is when A, for the Kunkka, and B, when the Jakiro is around him to de-ward. And that might cause a bit of problems when they're on opposite sides of the map, when he might be warding up or stacking the Ancients, the Jakiro might be stacking some other jungle camps. And that might make situations awkward, because the only one who can de-ward with him theoretically is the Brewmaster, and he doesn't want to blink into a position where he's out, his blink is exactly, his blink is on cooldown, and he's completely trapped, so he has no ways of destroying trees. So for example, if the Radiant had a ward here, the only way to de-ward is when Jakiro's there. So Danny D's just going to need to stick with the Jakiro in order to make full use of the gem, but of course it's for the Kunkka. Maybe he's been watching a bit too much Chinese Dota, I don't know, but I mean, they are ahead in XP and I think in gold as well, yeah, in gold, but I don't think they're ahead enough to make the gem useful, because he might die in fights. Like, there's a possibility he might die and it might not be his fault. He's cast his spells, he just got caught maybe. I mean, it is his fault if he gets caught.
If I was Matt, I'd probably actually throw the Laguna Blade on him just to try and secure that gem in the next fight.
Like,
I mean, that's a 450 damage burst, like, he could come out with straight away on the 900 HP target. But Potty now actually has that Battle Fury complete as well.
I don't like it so late. I really don't. I mean, it's good in the sense that, I mean, he already has a farming ability in the Tidebringer, and he has the cleave now, but he could have had that so much earlier, and he could have increased his farm rate by so much already, instead of increasing it only at this point.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
I'm expecting the Daedalus to be coming out from him next. It's the typical Kunkka build that we see.
Basic cleave strat, like the Empower and the Battle Fury and the Tidebringer, anyone within that AoE is going to take full, well, I'm not sure about the maths, 35% plus, what, 50%, I think it is?
They're going to clash heads here. Danny D is going to walk straight into Potty. Fish are going to miss on everybody, but it actually kind of cuts Potty out of the fight a little bit here. And now Danny's going to not get shackled to anything, but Lewis, massive reverse polarity. But the boat is also going to come on top of it, and that's going to be a full team wipe, it seems. Betty K's actually right-clicking Lewis down quite a lot here. Got a lot of attack speed, but 4 heroes going down. Potty with the ultra kill up on that Kunkka. Huge reverse polarity. Boat to fall on top of them as well. And the Light Strike Array. 4 heroes to go down for the Dire. They're going to get the tier 2 tower, and they've also picked up the gem, which is now being carried by the Sprink on the Windrunner.
I mean, I just as I mentioned it, the cleave just makes an impact. God, I can't speak English today, but it makes that big impact that I was talking about. 35%. I think it stacks additively as well, so it's 85% cleave. I'm not sure about how cleave stacks in Dota, but if it's like that, then that's an insane amount of cleave. If it stacks multiplicatively, I think it's more like 66%, but don't quote me on that.
This Rady actually getting caught out there. A little bit too deep in the base and he will die. Fortunately, he wasn't carrying the gem though. Sprinky is carrying that one. But yeah, it is interesting to see how the cleaves do stack, but that was a very nice pickup for the Radiant now. Poddy actually buys himself something. I'm assuming it's going to be his crit. Yeah, his Chrysalis is flying out now, so he's going to be able to do that much damage. He's also dropped his Quitting Blade finally. So Daedalus is actually so close for Poddy right now. He's about 2,000 gold away and he will have that one complete.
I mean, now we see the point in the draft. Like, huge RP, Lena stun on top, power shot, shackle, fade bolt, huge crit from Kunkka,
and the
bolt,
boat, of course.
it's impossible for them to teamfight against this if they get caught. Like, if more than two people get caught in the RP, say it's like Brewmaster, Earthshaker Jakiro, or Darkseer, Earthshaker Jakiro, or Earthshaker, Lifestealer. I mean, any iteration of more than 3 heroes that are caught in this RP, that's a lost fight for them. There is no way they can break that initiation. There is no way that they can survive
Especially
that
if they can
damage.
catch out Solaris as well as BKS. Very
Even if
important
they have a
targets to bring
pipe.
down.
Like, even if they have a pipe, the damage is just a perfect mix of physical and magical. Like, I mean, usually in most situations when you get a 3-man RP, you're dead anyway, but like, this draft is just centered around the RP being hit on multiple heroes and then being out of position.
Yeah, I actually really like this draft coming out from Lewis. I do assume that Poddy was the guy who called the shots in the drafting stage, as he's playing very well in his cooker. He's actually going to land on Savage, and look at the damage Savage actually takes. Gets critted with the Tidebringer there, but a nice ice bath coming out will be able to hold Poddy in place. There is team support, of course. And obviously, not only do we have the reverse polarity into boat combo, but Poddy has himself the, oh, hang on a second, chemistry. Reverse polarity coming out from Lewis, going to hit on top of 2. Wall's going to go down, boat's going to fly over the top of everybody. The Gunner Blade will be able to kill off the Brewmaster instantly. Darkseer very quickly follows Solaris there, and now Sprink going to force himself back in and want to try and get BKS. He's so tanky, so hard to bring down now. He has nothing to invest into, and he's going to get locked in. Danny with a very nice fissure and tries to get close enough to enable the... Yeah, he tries to get close enough to enable the infest there. The Pepper Shot coming in from Sprink will be able to finish him off. And that's another 4-man wipe. But Savage now is caught into no man's land. Full team wipe. They only lose a Rubik. And what another great RP coming out from a Lewis, and an overall fantastic fight coming out from the Radiant. If you have a look at the goal graph real quick, you can actually see the huge spike in that graph right now that's happened. It swung nearly 4,000 gold back in their favour. As far as XP goes, once again, 7,500 XP has come back in the way of the Radiant now.
I mean, that was just a series of being out of position and misplaying. I mean, and lack of Darkseer Illusion micro. If you saw, Wall was stolen, but Rubik actually microed his illusions correctly and managed to get them to focus specific targets, whereas Solaris' illusions were just sitting around here doing nothing for half of the fight. Also, what we saw, what I called Danny Dota, I mean, he could have walked up to the Lifestealer to invest into him and then Echo Slam, then he might have had a chance to turn the fight and kill the 2 supports who were extremely out of position, but it didn't happen. He didn't walk close enough, and then it wasn't just an awkward solo Echo Slam. Well, I say solo, it was on 3 people, but he was on his own, so it was just an awkward situation for him to be in right at the end of the fight. I mean, it was just a series of, again, being out of position, certain misplays coming out from certain players, and something that the Radiant can easily take advantage of. Like, you mess up against this team, and you will die, and you will cause your team to die if your team tries to save.
Oh, that damage on Savage! Nearly dead from it, and the Torrent will kill him off. One right click with the Shadow Blade and a crit, and one Torrent completely kills him off. And now Solaris is caught out of position as well. Will get skewered backwards, but he X-marked himself, so he flies forwards. And now we do see Danny has a Blink Dagger, Echo Slam in 10 seconds. There's a Lifestealer inside him. There's a Brewmaster nearby with a Blink as well. This could be an absolute huge play. Everyone's going to gather on the tier 2 tower, and I'm so fucking excited right now. Danny D is ready. He has his Echo Slam. Here's the opportunity. The creeps are still alive for now. Get yourself in there, Danny. Here comes the Blink. Where is the Echo Slam? There it is. Lifestealer to commence. So much damage. Danny gets a kill, double kill straight away. 4 heroes dead, and then Sprink trying to run himself away. What a play from BKS Chemistry as well as Danny D. Instantly killing 4 people under that tier 2 tower.
Is this the part where I make a joke about them having the chemistry to do something like that?
Yeah, it is. I know Danny buys another gem.
But that was just, you saw it coming, we all saw it coming, that was just a beautiful play. And that's their counter-initiation. Like, they need, well, I say counter-initiation, I'm not sure how they can counter-initiate with something like that, but, I mean, that's the power of the Dire lineup. I mean, they can do something like that to the Radiant team if they're all out of position, which they were disgustingly out of position. I mean, there were five heroes within, like, 5v5, 5x5, like, box of pings. I don't know how to explain this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Basically, we can recall the book rampage that happened. It was a very similar situation. They get a couple of kill-offs, they feel confident in pushing the tower, and suddenly a massive ulti comes out and kills the entire lot of them.
I was just about to say, in both pickoffs of the Jakiro, the Kunkka didn't have Empower on him. He didn't have the extra damage to combine.
And now he has his Daedalus as well as the Empower. You see he's got a bonus of 261 damage. And are we expecting a Rapier? What do you think is his next item?
I don't think he needs it. I think if the Radiant screw up like that a few more times and it allows the Dire to get back into the game so much, then he might need it. But at the moment, he does an insane amount of damage. All the Magnus needs to do is make sure he always has Empower, because if he doesn't have Empower, it might note the difference between a one-shot onto the Jakiro and a two-shot. And a two-shot means the Jakiro is able to cast a spell and have some game impact. A one-shot means he can't do anything. So it sounds like it's not a huge difference, but it really can make an extreme amount of difference in team fights, because the team fights you seem to lose are those where supports can't cast spells. Go ahead.
What's that pipe coming out there from Solaris? I'm a little bit confused with it, but they go really aggressively. They're smoking up as a team of 5 now. We do actually see once again Beta Chaos is inside Danny D. Don't pick up the DD rune, you'll give yourselves away if they're out of ward, but they don't. And now we see the Radiant team all 5 men middle, and this is going to be a big wraparound coming from the Dire now, and we're expecting a huge initiation from Danny once more, and once they're actually split up a little bit more. Delta split has been engaged coming out from the Radiant team now, but now they're looking for the engagement. Smokers one off. They know they're all sitting on this mid tower. You guys need to start advancing before the creep wave spots you out. It's going to get close, but they're going to be able to do this. Radiant have no vision whatsoever right now. They're a little bit scared. They don't have any vision. I don't know why they're this far forward. This is so scary.
From this ward here, if they walked into this location.
Oh, no, Danny's ready. There goes the bear shot. It goes up.
Oh,
Danny gets lifted immediately by this Rady. Ice Path's going to land as well, but nice Laguna Blade coming out from Matt as well. But there goes the Echo Stem. Bettycat's going to play. Louis solo RPs on top of Chemistry. Both going to fly over the top of everybody. And look at the damage Conqueror is doing. Instantly gets himself a double kill. Poddy, however, is getting taken very low by Bettycat, but a nice crit. Bettycat is very nearly dead. One more right click by Sprink. Will get himself a wicked 6 spree. Eggs the Immortal does go off for our Poddy now. Shackle not going to actually lock anybody in place. Bettycat spies back, picks up the gem, and will be able to defend this. Oh, that damage on Chemistry. Crit coming in from Poddy as well. X marks the spot. Will bring Chemistry back now. And he's going to be dying. Yes, he will. Shockwave from Magnus will finish him off. Brewmaster instantly buying back here. But overall, I honestly think that Disraeli on the Rubik completely won them that fight. That Echo Slam would have gone off perfectly from Danny.
Yeah.
And, oh, nice split coming out from Chemistry there. But if that Echo Slam would have gone off, then I think that fight would have gone completely the other direction.
Well, there were no creeps, and there were no, there was only one hero in the vicinity, which would be the Rubik. But the lift was high impact. It delayed the Echo Slam, it delayed the Infest
Chemistry
coming out.
Blinking in, Torret's going to land on top of him. Shackle Shot not going to lash on anybody though. Body's been slowed down a little bit here. They don't actually have vision of him because I don't believe they have a gem. Macapire plays very defensively. Danny blinks himself in, but not really able to do anything in their Poddy. Tries to get a lucky crit off with a Tidebringer, but he's going to actually run himself away. And now the Radiant team having to back off.
Yeah, as I was saying, I don't think it was high impact in the same way you say it was, because it wasn't exactly a huge Echo Slam that he prevented, but he did delay the Infest coming out, because Vetchi was in the awkward situation where he was like, do I come out and kill this Rubik, or do I wait for him to get into a better position? And he just delayed it ever so slightly, which decreased his DPS output. And are you sure that's not too much what you can hear in the background?
It should be fine. No one's saying anything in the stream chat, so I think it's okay. There is a little bit of background noise, but don't worry about it too much. But at the moment, we do see an Assault Cuirass complete on Beta KS, and Yeah, as you said, there was disadvantages for Betty Chaos if they came out, as well as if he'd have stayed in, really. So it wasn't nice delay coming out. But did you see how fast Bet you actually died in that fight? Like the
Yeah, the
Poddy
cleave just destroyed him.
Poddy actually got 2 direct crits on top of him. And there is a Sacred Relic on Poddy. This is a Rapier, and he has it in 130 gold.
Yeah, he's going to sell that Quelling Blade, probably send it to the shop. I'm not sure. He has the gold if he sells the Quelling Blade. He doesn't have to farm creeps, but he's going to farm these creeps here, and he's going to walk towards the secret shop, and then just come out with his Rapier. Because this creep wave will die fast enough, and then Lina can clear the next creep wave, so he doesn't have to reveal his Rapier, and then the Rapier will just come out and just slay everybody.
And I'm hoping for a one-shot Shadow Blade hit on top of somebody and just kill the entire team, just like a straight-up rampage coming in from Poddy. We'll see if it happens. If it does, then it'll be a very big talking point in the community for the night. But yeah, interesting coming out so far. We haven't really looked at the supports too much. As far as the gold and XP goes, we actually see a 10,000 gold lead going away to Radiant. You can see the swing in the XP graph where it was about 2,500 going away to Dire at one point. And as far as XP goes, 12,000 coming out for them now. Rubik's up to level 12, has himself a 4-staff complete. Courier's going to fly out another smoke for them, so they might go aggressive now. Sprink also has himself a 4-staff mechanism, has Danny's first gem, and is building towards that sheepstick, actually getting really close. Lewis now with a 4-staff on the Magnus. This is something we don't usually see. And finally what we're looking on Matt's items now, so he also has a 4-staff, so that means that we've got what, 4 4-staffs on it? Yeah, 4 4-staffs on the Radiant team.
Yeah, that's I mean, most games are decided not by the farm of the carries, in this case it is, but more by the farm of the supports. I mean, Lina has a 4-staff Arcane Boots, Rubik has 4-staff Arcane Boots, Lina has 1900 gold on top of that. I mean, what do the Dire supports have? Jakiro has a quarter of a mechanism and Arcane Boots. I'm not sure whether he should have gone the Arcane Boots. He'd be a lot closer to the mechanism by now. And Danny D on the Earthshaker has a Blink Dagger and a drum. I mean, that's not enough in order to contest with the farm of the supports. I mean, Rubik has a friggin' 4-staff as a 5. Like, that's insane.
Have a press on your Y key right now and have a look on the current net worth sitting on Cooker though.
Yeah, that's just insane. He's so ahead of him. And that's purely because of the fights, because Lifestealer was out farming him. Like, he bought a farming item, he bought Mjolnir, he was able to out farm him, he was a complete position to out farm the Kunkka with the late Battle Fury, but he just didn't because they took a few bad engagements, and that's what happens when you take a few bad engagements. Everything just turns on its head, and you're suddenly on the back foot when you had the advantage and you didn't press it.
Yeah, like, I can't help but think that these fights are only going to get worse now for the Dire. I mean,
definitely.
Poddy's about to buy a Rapier, for Christ's sake. If he gets one lucky hit with that Shadow Blade crit, then their entire team's dead.
But you have to remember they have a Darkseer. Yeah, if that Darkseer doesn't die and he gets a wall off, it might be the other way around. The other team might be getting one shot.
But the Darkseer has 1100 HP is the problem right now.
Exactly. He bought Pipe, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah, Pipe Rush really hasn't helped him out too much here. As you said earlier on in the game, it's a very nice mix between magical and physical damage coming out from the Radiant. So it's a little bit scary for them to still not have a mechanism complete, especially about this, especially with this Kunkka on the map right now.
I mean, yeah, as I was saying, like, they must suspect the Rapier right now. Like, the update hasn't come out when, which is coming out tonight, where you can't query other players' items now anymore, but you can still. So one of the players must have noticed a Sacred Relic and think, that guy has a Rapier. They must think, after that fight, he has 2,200 gold. Like, they must think that he got a lot of gold from that fight. He has a Battle Fury, he has a Daedalus, he has Tidebringer. He must have been able to farm that Rapier within the few minutes that we were dead. Well, not a few minutes, about 60 seconds that we were dead. They must know that it's Poddy as well. He's an extremely skilled and a good farmer. He has 303 CS at 35 minutes as a Kunkka, which may not be optimal, but it's really, really good regardless.
It's optimal with having 2 creep waves tonight as well, completely. Like, he's actually done really well to keep up in this game.
Definitely.
Being so far behind in CS. He was only 20 CS when we did mention on it earlier, but like I said, currently 303 CS, actually gone nearly 60 CS ahead of Betty Chaos right now. But yeah, it's just, what do you think? Obviously there's a Darkseer on the Dire side, but other than that, what do you think they can do to turn this game around potentially?
Well, they need a perfect Echo Slam, they need a wall into vacuum, not the other way around like lots of players do. They need the Infest damage to hit on 3 players at least, because Rubik and Lena haven't built HP items. That's the thing. They're so far ahead that they don't feel they need to build Ghost Scepters or a Bracer or maybe a Point Booster casually on Lena. Like, all of these things have just said, no, we want a 4-staff, we want maybe a Blink Dagger at some point, we don't care, we're confident in our positioning, and they have to abuse the fact that they're confident right now, and maybe come out with a perfect Infest split, and Brewmaster really needs to get these tornadoes on the correct targets. Last fight, he tornadoed Magnus after the RP. I mean, what's Magnus going to do after the RP and after a skewer? He's cast all his spells. The Empower's already on the Kunkka. The RP's down. He doesn't have a refresher. He's not preventing another one from happening. He needs to tornado a high-impact hero like a Kunkka, because if a Kunkka's permanently tornadoed during a split, that's the Rapier not happening.
Yeah,
that's the damage not coming out from the Kunkka.
And with them having the gen, if they can actually get the engagement off and, like you say, get the Kunkka out of the fight for 6 seconds, then they might have to. And it's going to be so difficult to do because obviously we have 4-4-staffs on the field on everyone but the Kunkka on the Radiant side. So we could see the supports die off if they can actually, you know, use the tornado on the Kunkka, but it's going to be incredibly hard to kill them off. They're so tanky at this point, especially Windrunner. That I don't think they can kill Sprunk anymore in this fight unless they get a pure magical burst on him.
Yeah, I mean, Kunkka hasn't built much HP. I mean, do any of his items give him HP? I don't think so. No, they don't.
No.
It's purely from his strength gain. And the plus stats from I'm
stats.
Looking. Where? What plus stats? Where is
Stats
from
levels.
stat levels? Yeah, from stats levels. I mean, he has no HP levels. They can kill him if they focus him. He doesn't have a Roshan. Roshan is not up.
Yeah, it's got another about 6.5, 7 minutes left on that one. So
and
it's a long time
as I recall, Radiant took that, right?
Yeah, Poddy had it previously, but he died very quickly in that fight.
I mean, he has no HP items. He has no, as I said, he has no survivability items. He has pure damage, pure DPS.
Yeah,
pure
something
cleave.
like an Assault Cuirass could potentially come out after he gets the Rapier, just to give himself that armor, because right now, BTKS, we can't forget how hard he's hitting. He does have an AC of his own, he has himself a Mjolnir, that's all the items he does currently have, but he's still hitting so hard with that open wounds, of course, having that extra life leech as well as the crippling slow and the rage, so yeah, they need to kill the lifesteal off very fast, and Poddy, he only has the strength gain, as you say, but it's 3 strength gain per level, and I think he's actually sitting in the highest HP pool in the game currently, even though Brewmaster has himself a point booster.
Yeah, because that's purely due to level advantage and having better strength gain than the Lifestealer. I mean, Brewmaster has a strength gain of what? Let's see, 2.9. I mean, he knows he knows he can not build HP this game at some point, but like he also knows that they have a lot of burst, so it's kind of a cocky option, but it works for them because they're at such an advantage right now. 10,000 XP and around 8,000 gold, I think that is, if I'm reading that correctly. Well, I think it's a bit more, 8,500, 8,750, if I'm reading that right. But yeah, I mean, it's just insane. They are really, really ahead on the back of those few fights, on the back of the fact that they've given them space to outfarm them. I mean, the Radiant warding is really, really aggressive here. We've got one ward here. I think one was dewarded here earlier. They had a ward here that expired. I mean, they're just controlling the entirety of this jungle. They only came back here to push this wave out, so they could, well, I thought they were going to hide the Rapier, but Poddy is obviously really, really cocky at changing his name to Rapier Inc. and
he's actually done
that.
I still see Poddy.
Look at, go back up in the chat. He said, shout out to my Rapier, and it was Rapier Inc. on his name, if you go back up in the chat a bit. But I thought he would have cleared this creep wave, which would have given him money for the Demon Edge, then gone to the secret shop, then Lena would have cleared out the next creep wave, and then he would have got the Rapier and come out, and they might have said, oh, there's a Lena here, let's pick her off, and then he would have just come out with the Rapier and went, bam, they're all dead. But yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, at the moment, we do have a situation with the DC coming out from Solaris. We're not sure what's happened. Nobody can get in touch with him right now. And he has disconnected off IRC as well. We're going to leave it to see how long the Dire want to wait for this one to come back. But I think Poddy's going to be really sad if this game doesn't resume just because he wants his Rapier.
Yeah, I hope the guy comes. I hope the Doxia comes back. I mean, this game is really, really exciting to watch right now. I mean, it's had such a turnaround. Sorry, casual burps coming out.
Casual
I'm
burps.
sorry, waiting so long. You know, I mean,
Paradota.
you can't keep in character for so long, can you? But I want to see what happens because it seems like all of the players know how to play the game. The Brewmaster's ults might have been a bit suboptimal, but I'm not saying like that like I'm the best Brewmaster in the world, but it's kind of what I would have tried to do if I was in the same situation. But I don't know.
Yeah, we are gonna make
it seems like all the players are pulling their weight here.
I mean, I don't think they're fully out of this one either, the Dire, which will be a shame if he doesn't reconnect to this game. But at the moment, Kevish says he doesn't mind calling it. Matt says there's no rush going on at the moment. Lewis has actually returned as well. But they need a unanimous decision basically to come out from Better Chemistry, as well as Savage and Danny, to see what happens at the end of this game. Just 4v5? Wow, that's going to be... The Dark Sea is going to be out of the fight. Someone might...
Yeah, that's a pretty high impact hero, you know?
Someone has to micro. But if they're going to call 4v5, then we will continue with this game. I want to see Danny D micro skills coming out.
Yeah, I think.
In fact, all they have to do right now is put Betty KS inside of Danny, make Betty KS control the Darkseer, engage everything at the right time, and then just Betty KS come out when Darkseer's cast this shit.
Yeah, I think that if they are going to micro the Darkseer, the Earthshaker needs to be doing it because all Earthshaker's going to do in this fight is cast Echo Slam into Fissure, into Enchant Totem, and then he's going to die.
Yeah.
If he gets 2 of those spells off, he's high impact enough. But if he doesn't get the Echo Slam off and he doesn't get the Fissure off, then it's going to be somewhat awkward. But either way, he's going to die really, really fast once his Rapier comes out, which it should come out right now. Is Poddy going to use the Courier or walk up to it? I don't know.
Wait, is it done? No, it's not done. That's the Smoke of the Seed. Poddy, go buy your fucking Rapier, son.
I mean, it's coming out.
Poddy, go buy your Rapier. Stop going high ground. Buy your Rapier.
The Courier just walked past the secret shop.
Yeah, just to bring the smoke up. Shit. There's a rage coming in from Betty KS to try and make sure the X-Mark spot doesn't land. In fact, they're just going to take the racks. Not even... The Courier's going past the secret shop!
Where's the
Rapier? Oh, Blinky coming in from Brimas here. Split's going to go off. Poddy not actually going to have the Rapier for this fight at all. This Randy going to steal the Ice Path. Big Echo Slam going to come out. Actually going to do a lot of damage to supports. There goes Betty KS coming out as well. The Darkseer's currently sitting at the back, not doing anything because nobody's micro him. But Poddy's in actually a lot of trouble right now. And he can't get away from this one. And Poddy will die. It's a good job he didn't buy the Rapier. And as we mentioned with the Dire not being out of this one yet, Brewmaster is also going to be able to get the last kill on Magnus there. Savage not going to get shackled in now. Sprung's in a lot of trouble. This Randy will go down. Double kill for Betty KS, and it kind of feels like this is a little bit of a throw coming out from the Radiant here. Now, you had to expect the Echo Slam coming out from Danny, and Danny's, oh, what a move. Going to steal the regen room. He's going to get shackled.
She didn't do damage to him.
Sprung didn't do damage to Danny, actually regens quite a lot right now. And there goes the enchant on him as well. Sprung is going to try and run himself away. Torrent actually going to miss, but Danny is in a lot of trouble now. X-Mark going to go out on top of Danny as well. Ice Path very nicely placed, but there he goes. He will go down, and then Betty KS is going to be careful trying to fight Poddy right now. He does have a gem, so we can see where Poddy's running. And in fact, Betty KS, he really wants to chase on one of them. Poddy going to run himself away. Torrent not going to hit on anybody, and then a bit of a disengagement. But we did actually see everybody but Sprunk die on the Radiance, and then Poddy brought back as well. So big gold actually going the way of the... You can see how even the gold graph has gone after that fight. That's a really weird gold graph, actually.
I guess that's why he didn't buy the Rapier. He may have anticipated his supports being out of position because they really threw there. I mean, the supports got caught by the Echo Slam and the Ice Path. And... I think I've figured out this Brewmaster. He didn't. His Storm Panda was just sitting there doing nothing in the middle of the team fight. He was literally just sitting here while Poddy was dead and the Sprink was here running away and Bet UKS was killing Yelena, Rubik, sorry, over here. I mean, it was just... I don't know how the Dire won that fight apart from the fact that the Radiant threw because the Brewmaster didn't pull his weight in that fight. He's been playing well so far, but he just didn't do enough that fight. And I think it was the right call not to tornado the Kunkka in that sense, but he could have tornadoed the Magnus or like put someone who was disgustingly out of position, and they kept the racks. Like that was an extremely good fight for the Radiant. I mean the Dire.
Yeah, it was so good for them. And at the same time, I don't know if you'd noticed or not, but no wall was used. Obviously with Solaris not being here, it's going to be difficult. Nobody's microing him, it seems, but no wall, and they got 4 people and a buyback.
Yeah,
One is
exactly.
defending the Rex. So it was such a good fight for the Radiant. And this is definitely not a game that's over. And it's such a shame that we have a disconnect here. So I do want to see this 5v5 fight fully playing out. But although the Radiant have a distinct advantage just because of this. And oh god, the courier's on its way. Is this... Oh, it's a Basha. Potty? Abyssal Blade.
It's for the Lifestealer. He's going the more intelligent option here. He wants to win this game. He doesn't want to throw it. He realizes now that his supports might not be the best positioning in the world, or they might be getting a bit too cocky. I don't know.
Oh man, look at the damage that Potty currently actually has on the Conqueror as well. 376 bonus damage with him power. He's gonna. I mean, watch the next creep wave he hits. He's about to walk up to one.
He's gonna one-shot it.
Here we go. Here we go. You ready for this damage? 1418 crit. 1418 crit with cleave.
And the team is not there. This is 3 racks. They don't have a ward spotting them, but they have no heroes there.
They micro Solaris Surgeon Danny. Actually, Danny's in a really good position right now. Echo Slam going to do a lot of damage in the RP. Instantly coming out from Lewis. Fantastic positioning from him. And Danny D gets hit by the crits. Potty with a double kill, instantly killing off 2 of the heroes. Lewis in a lot of trouble now. He's going to get hit by the Tidebringer. And now Potty actually getting forced after out of this one. He's going to try and kill off these Brewmasters as soon as possible. 2 of the Broodings will die. And then they're going to kill the Earthbanner off really easily. Matt getting caught out of position. Is managing to follow the Laguna Blade off on Jakiro, killing him off there. Nice wall vacuum coming out from whoever the hell's controlling Solaris, but Jesus, Potty's damage right now. And there's another gem on the deck.
No tornado onto the Kunker. It was onto the Magnus, who'd already cast all of his spells. Like,
and that's Rax.
That's Rax. That's the game. What can they do? Like that was really bad play from the Dire. They walked up to the racks and there were no heroes there. What they were trying to do, they were trying to flank them, but the...
chemistry. Blinking in aggressively with Beta Chaos as well. They want to bring Potty down, and they should be able to do so. They will as well. And now this could be a cleanup coming their way. Sprung's going to win run himself away. Beta Chaos has no form of chase right now, and nor does Chemistry. There's a blink up in 2 seconds. Disradi's already out of it, though. Chemistry going to blink in and try and get himself a stun, but Disradi has an Ice Path. Cast that Ice Path. He's going to lift him up. No Ice Path to follow Disradi, really? It's an instant cast.
He can get it on 2 right now.
Choosing not to do so though. And Sprite meanwhile
still
still
running
away.
The blink? Okay, that was awkward.
Yeah.
As I was saying before though, they Danny got a haste rune here, and he walked all the way with the lifestealer inside of him here to get the Echo Slam, but Chemistry just TP'd there because it was a long TP because he TP'd with the Jakiro, and there wasn't anything there. Like the clap blink was too late. They'd already been RP'd. I mean, I don't know.
They have a timer on this. They have a timer on this right now.
Yeah, they timed this.
This is Farah right here. Or have they? Maybe they're just looking for people. They are indeed. Smoke's going to come on now. They're going to actually find Lewis in the bottom lane. He actually blinks himself away, but he's in a bad position. Danny's going to blink himself in. Do a nice fish out. He's going to block him as well, using his own body. Lewis is going to get force staffed. He gets stunned as soon as he tries to... Oh, wow. So many force staffs! But the Rubik will die quickly. And now Danny has another fissure in 2 seconds. Nice blinking by Chemistry. Even better shackle coming out from Sprink. But that's... Where did Potty... Is Potty still dead from the last fight?
He's still dead.
Oh my god, is he level 25? He's level 25. Wow, I thought he'd be up by now. But a nice fight coming out from a Dire. And they're actually fighting backdoor protection. But here come the creep wave. And
it's Rush, never mind.
Yep,
they're going for Rush.
And this will be nice for Betty Case. He's actually very close to having this Abyssal Blade up as well. 1300 gold to go. But this will be an Legacy Immortal on the Lifestealer. And I kind of think, even though this is a 4v5 situation, that this game has been fully turned around by the Dire right now. But it's all dependent on the combo that can get off. I mean, the last 2, maybe 3 fights in a row, we haven't seen that perfect reverse polarity like we saw in the early game into the ship. It just hasn't happened.
Their positioning's been too good. Like, that's the one thing I will say, like, they've had perfect since, is their positioning.
Oh,
we got caught out by the gem. Oh my god.
Oh no, but I think he's just standing there. Oh, there's the crit coming out from Potty. Nice ice path from Jakiro, but Betty KS drops his TP, gets himself an Aegis, and now Lewis, I'm expecting a reverse polarity. Maybe solo. Oh, he force stuffs himself up into the trees, but he has himself a blink back there. Reverse polarity gets cancelled by the ice path. Even better macro pile. Lewis will go down without using reverse polarity now. Sprung trying to win run himself away. We'll be able to use the sheep on Danny D. Rubik's there for support on Disradi. Shackle not going to latch in now. There we go. Another force staff going to come out from Disradi, and this is the power of the team with force staffs right now. Great fish coming out from Danny, but can they catch catch up for Sprunk. Sprunk's going to get blocked in here, and now this Shredder's in a little bit of trouble. We do see a Dragon Save coming out from Lina. Not going to be able to do much, but Danny D, meanwhile, TPing back. He has to defend the T4 as the creeps are pushing in. But now someone actually, micro in Solaris, is actually going really deep on this one, even though he's only level 14 on the docks here. Ice Pop not managing to hit there from Savage, but now they're going all the way in the base. BTKS does not care. He has a basher and he still has the Aegis. He's trying to bash. Please bash on Matt. He's trying so hard. Matt going to stun himself. Rage was on cooldown, sorry, so we couldn't use that one, but that's going to be the death of Matt. BTKS just doing too much damage right now, and Savage, Solaris is actually being missed micro by somebody, will go down, and now Savage actually tanking the terror again, but the nice dual breath will slow the Ruby down. There's BTKS versus Poddy. There is an Aegis though, but Poddy just doing so much. Oh, there's a stun! The bash comes out from BTKS and gives him enough time to kill him off. Sprink will be able to pop the Aegis, but RNG Dota manages to kill Poddy off. Does he have buyback? No, he doesn't. And this could be Rax. Buyback coming in from Lina. Windrun is there as well. And then BTKS, he's going to... In fact, the tier 2 Terry is still standing. There is, of course, Mega Creeps pushing in the mid lane. But BTKS just doing so much damage. He can afford his Abyssal Blade now. He has 6,000 gold on that Lifestealer. Gold graph now is actually spiking back down. 8,000 gold. Going the way of the Radiant after that fight, but that's a 4,000 gold drop coming from the Dire, and even more in the XP. Look at the XP graph now. I know it's getting close to the end game, but it's just dropped so much.
Yeah, it's going to converge to 0 at some point, and it really doesn't matter right now that about the golden XP graphs. This is Rax. They cannot defend this without Kunkka. They have not.
Reverse polarity coming out from Lewis. Echo Slam going by Danny D, and actually Fisher mission on everyone. He whiffed that combo completely. Cambridge taking a lot of damage right now. I think it's a little bit too late. Matt actually uses the Guna Blade, but the split coming out from Brewmaster dodges it completely, and now Lewis getting forced after around by everybody. BTKS, so he's going to chase on top of Matt, and Matt should die now. He's going to sit himself into trees. Nice light strike away. He's still trying to escape. At the moment, all he's doing is wasting time. Poddy's up in 25 seconds, but right now, there's no buybacks available for anybody. And BTKS, he just wants to kill Magnus right now. But in fact, that's giving him time to use Blink. Lewis not going to use it though. BTKS will be able to bash out on Lewis. 8,000 gold in him right now. Danny D will blink on top of Sprink. Does a lot of damage in it. This should be the death of Sprink as well. No bash going to come out. Actually, no sheep being used by Sprink. And yeah, BTKS is going to have to leave the base. And this is the problem. I don't know why they went for the kill so actively. The mid tower took pretty much no damage. And now look who's back. It's the badass that is Poddy with a BKB they built on him.
Like, they could have taken Rax there so easily.
Solaris. Like, no one's microing Solaris. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was just bad play.
Free kill for Poddy.
Why didn't they just kill the Rax? They had enough time to at the very least, get a tower while being screwed with by the opponents. Like, they have no follow-up to the RP. Even if the Lina stun hits, even if a Laguna Blade comes out, even if there's a perfect shackle and a Faith Bolt and a steal on the Echo Slam, like, they don't have enough to kill them. They're all tanky strength heroes. Like, they have no way of slaying them without Kunkka.
Right, Kunkka. I mean,
and they had no Kunkka.
You look at Danny now on the Earthshaker. He's now up to level 19. The guy was sat on level 2 at about 8 minutes into the game still, and he's managed to get himself up to level 19. He's doing so well to catch up in this game, and you have to admit, for all the slack that Danny D gets, he's played this Earthshaker absolutely magnificently this game. He did whiff the last combo in that fight, but other than that, he's done most of his combos pretty much spot on. But the question is, can he completely save this game once again, as now we have all 5 members of the Radiant pushing in this top lane?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, I think that was their only chance to get back in the game, I think. And the only way that they can create another chance is if Radiant screw up again.
Oh.
Like, they...
Oh, they're actually going in here. Lewis, we actually see the Echo Slam coming in from Danny very preemptively, and that will be his death. I don't think he has buyback even though he won't do. Lewis is going to drop the RP on top of everyone, and the cleave coming in from Kunkka. That's the death of BTKS as well. They drop so fast. BTKS is instantly going to buy back, but it's going to turn into a three-man fight. Nice combo coming in from the man micro in Solaris right now, but still not doing enough damage. Poddy is in Viz right now. He can't be seen. He will get more crit off. Brewmaster's going to die because the Wind Panda went down. The one that he didn't micro always standing still once again. Someone's micro in Solaris with 200 health just sitting right next to the base.
There's nothing he can do. Like, that's
Sheepstick.
GG.
And it should be the death of Solaris. That will be GG, I think. You are right. Lewis going to get bashed there now.
He didn't bash. He wasted the pistol on him. The only way he could have done this is if he insta-killed the Magnus, ran into Kunkka, raged, Abyssal Takunka, insta-kill Takunka, and maybe the
Force
Force
staffed in by
wouldn't have
Rubik,
killed
and that might be the death of him. Rubik force staff his Betty KS in, and actually Bonnie will die. What are you doing, Disraeli? He force staffed Betty KS, and he has Infest available. We'll use it, and then there goes the mechanism. Whatever Windrunner. Oh, it was actually stolen by Disraeli. He actually stole the Infest, and Matt uses the Guna Blade to bring Lifestealer down, and he bought back for that. He's down for 90 seconds. That Laguna Blade may have just won the game, and there's GG well played coming out from Chemistry. What a fantastic game, but Lewis's team on the Radiant will pick themselves all up 10 points, and the Dire team will lose 10 points, regardless of how this game went, and very unfortunate with the disconnect. It was a fantastic game at the end of it all.
Yeah, that was just, I think you said it all. That was a really good game. Lots of turnarounds, a few misplays, some things weren't enjoyable to watch, especially the fact that Diet didn't take racks, like the Storm Panda wasn't microed. I mean, some things weren't fun to watch. I mean, it was a shame that Solaris disconnected, but some things can't be prevented. I mean, it was as good as game you can't speak English again. It's as good a game as you are going to expect, I feel.
But Farah, thank you for joining me for this one. Been a pleasure, sir.
And you too?
Yep.
Oh, no, not really. No, screw you.
But stay tuned, guys. We will have more NFC games coming up next.